the rematch.
How do you feel about it?
I flopped. You know, I flip and I flop, and I think who's going to win, who's going to...
Where you at today?
If I'm honest, all week it's not been as covered as much, and I think that's because Sky are involved.
Yeah.
So you see it everywhere, and it's just not. Tickets are still available.
Yeah.
You know, that last time that wasn't the case. This episode is going to actually celebrate, it's 20 years since my last fight, and that was in Rome. And two, we're going to talk about the fight that's happening in less than, just over 24 hours time, Chris Eubank Jr. against Benn. It's going to be a mad fight. It's been a mad week so far. So waiting this afternoon, but you know, we'll see what happens when it comes to fight time tomorrow night in London. So let's start from the beginning.
But 20 years.
20 years
ago. Does it feel? Does it feel like 20 years?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But now, once talking about it, you think, oh my God, that's a lifetime ago. And I'm trying to remember what stood out about.
Because the last fight was in Rome, Italy, 2006.
Andy, I didn't think it was my.
Was it a win? You won?
Yeah, man.
You did splits.
But I didn't think it was my last fight, and it was the first time out of all my career when I walked in the ring, and actually enjoyed everything about it.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of my career, I used to panic. I used to be really nervous getting in the ring, thinking, oh my goodness.
Were you nervous for the build up to the fight? Before, not the last fight, but like before then.
Before then,
yeah.
There was always something that I was uncomfortable around. So I trained really hard to make sure I didn't lose.
Yeah.
Before, and because I understood initially in my career, I was the nervous kind of guy. So I had to tick every box. And so I always thought there was something wrong. I kind of had that, I don't know, imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
But this fight in Rome, I don't know why I can remember, it was like, God, I love this sport. And it was the first time I really loved it.
Yeah.
And I can remember walking through and they played Funkin' for Jamaica.
That was your come out to, yeah.
Ba-bong, ba-bong. But I came out with my mates and there was Mark Willey, Danny Thompson, Paul Stinger Mason. But a load of my mates that came, and I knew how they would be. So to put it into context, we were all in the same hotel.
Yeah.
I'd hear them all going out on the town at night time, passing my room.
Yeah.
And I'd be thinking, I want to be with them a lot, but I'm the party. Yeah. So they'd go, and I know they enjoyed themselves in Rome, but they said they were getting some stick from a lot of the local people because Cantatori was a bit of a hero there. So they all knew that these guys.
So you were fighting him in his hometown?
In his hometown.
Right, yeah.
And he was and so they knew. So they were getting stick outside of this, and I didn't know until after the fight.
Yeah.
Then when it came to the fight, and I knew I wanted a nice party vibe track coming on, I knew what they would do.
Yeah.
The plan was.
Was it the first time you come out to that song?
And really enjoyed it. Yeah. And when the music bopped, it's like they were a dance crew. Yeah. They were just boom.
Yeah.
And the Italians are looking at them just today, and they were sneering at them, going mad at them. Then I walked out, and I'm dancing, and I'm taking my time and milking it coming out.
Yeah.
Because the idea was to try and aggravate the crowd, to get them so hyped up, get them so mad.
Yeah.
And so he'd be the same as well. Because the idea is when you box, you want to get your opponent so angry.
Yeah.
They don't think about tactics, they just want to smash your face in.
Yeah, and then sort out a window. Or the whole thing.
So I thought, I've really got to milk this. I thought, I'm loving this. And I looked at them like dancing, I smiled, I saw them in the corner, and I just took my time going in, got in the ring, and I look at it, I think, you cocky son, I want to backhand myself. And I remember dropping into the splits when they went just to warm up into the box splits. And I remember going down thinking, God, what if I can't get back up again? So I'm down there, and Cantatori's looking at me as if to say,
are you going to get back up?
Shit.
Yeah.
And there's the flag girls behind me, and they're looking, thinking, what's going on down there? But it was just to intimidate them.
Yeah.
And I can remember a woman came and threw, I don't know if it was a belt or a bag at me, but it hit the ropes.
Right.
So they were that angry, I thought, God, because the Italians are very passionate.
Yeah.
They're a very passionate crowd. And my boys were there, and I thought, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I just thought it was the best feeling ever.
And how was the fight? Can you remember the fight at all? I mean, was it a slip in the ninth, or was it the splits?
I can remember getting hit on the back of the head. It was around the 8th or the 9th round, and I did a bit of a drunken master, And I thought, oh God, you cannot, no way, not in a million years, this ain't happening, man, because I've done too well up to that point. Because I knew in around 4, 5 or 6, I hit him with a shot and told him to come on.
Right.
Because he went on the ropes. I went, come, step in.
Yeah.
I wanted to probably beat him up.
Yeah, yeah. And how did you feel like it was going until that?
Up to that
ninth?
point, he was dangerous, he was tough.
Mm-hmm.
But I was enjoying the fight, which is why when I hit him around the fight, around 5 or 6, I stepped back and said, come on, I'm having fun here.
Yeah, you were enjoying it. You knew you were up. You knew you were up there with the points.
And then, but you always, in boxing, especially if you're boxing in Europe, you say if you go to Italy or Germany, you've got to knock them out to get a draw. Right. That's how bad it is, you know. So I knew, I thought, I'm going to make it so bad for these lot. Yeah. It's going to be so obvious. If they rob me, it's going to quite clearly be a robbery. And then when he caught me around 9th, I'm like, damn it. And Brendan said, don't mess about, going mad at me. But I always knew I was doing well when I come back to the corner and Brendan say, marvellous. Yeah. That's it. So I knew.
So you knew you were doing all right.
Yeah, you get a marvellous out of Brendan, you're doing well. He said, just keep doing what you're doing. And he talks to you in a nice, calm voice, marvellous. And so, and I'm like, yeah, I've got this. He's proud of me. And then I think after the 9th, it was just, I don't know, it was a good feeling.
And how did the fight end?
Obviously, went the distance, got to the end of the fight. I thought I'd done the job. I thought, I've chopped this man down. There's no way he's getting this. And when it got to the end of the fight, I just thought, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then I think, I didn't know it was my last fight because I thought in my head, I thought to myself, it's time to start thinking about what you're going to do when you finish here.
So you didn't think that at all throughout that whole fight?
My next fight was going to be my last fight. Right. And in my head. Okay. So I thought, do this, box in Italy. Enzo Maccarinelli boxed on the undercard. It was going to be against him. Right. And so in my head, I thought, I'm having it. I'm not telling anybody, because if I tell Brendan, he wanted me to box until I was 50. Right. So I thought, I tell him he's going to talk me out of it. Yeah. So I thought, nope, keep your mouth shut. You've got this, Johnny. And I got the win. And all those boys, Mark, Willie, Danny, and them said, boy, you don't understand what pressure we're under, man. Them are trying to kill us. Yeah. Putting them under pressure, chasing them down. Because the Italians just made it really hostile for them. Yeah. They made it really hard.
I can imagine how that was. What was it like so after that fight, it's all done, you're back in the dressing room. Was there a point there where like, yeah, you know what, that is the last one. Was it then, or was it when you got home?
And it wasn't. I knew the end was nigh because in the build of that fight, everything, the training, everything, there wasn't an ounce of nerves, and I got worried then. Because I always say you need nerves. Nerves are good. I always used to mistake nerves for fear, and once I understood nerves were good. Nerves make you alert, put you on point, makes you sharp, make you think about what you're doing. If you've not got nerves, there's an issue. Yeah. And so before, when I was nervous, I thought I was scared. When I realised I wasn't scared, I was nervous. I knew it was good, so I twisted it towards me. So in preparing for that fight, there were no nerves at all. I thought, I've got this. So that's where arrogance and complacency had set in. Yeah. And I thought, you're going to get beat by someone that should never beat you, because the nerves have gone.
Yeah, because you weren't nervous, you thought, now is the time.
Now I'm worried a bit. So I thought, I need to start thinking about walking away from this game, because I can remember it rained one day. I used to go running about 3 o'clock in the morning, and it rained one day, and I was tired. And when it rained, I thought, I had to step over my training gear to go to the toilet, turn the alarm clock off, and go back to bed again. So to make sure I put it on, I stepped back over it again and got in bed. I went to sleep and I didn't feel any guilt.
Yeah. So that was the time you knew.
And I thought, Johnny, you've just given yourself a trapdoor, an excuse. How can you ever do that? You live by a certain rule, you've got to do everything right. So I knew my time was nigh. So I thought, after this fight, I'm done. After this fight, I'll have the Maccarinelli fight, then I'm done. I'm out of here. But it was just, and maybe that's why when I walked in the ring, I thought it was the best feeling ever. And I had a proper crew behind me, Brendan, John, they were there. At the fight, and I thought, yeah, we look tough. I want to say a big thanks to our sponsors, Goodwin, for supporting that boxing show. Now, if you're interested in having a little flutter, or as I call it after my dad, Benji's Bets, Goodwin's the place to be. Check out Goodwin using the QR code on the screen.
20 years.
20 years flown by. Got no hair now.
You didn't have much then, though. You really did, yeah.
Got no hair now, and I think, what do I miss the most? I miss the camaraderie in the gym.
I wouldn't ask you about the gym. Was there anything that Brendan taught you that you thought was like, oh wow, if I just take that on board, that's really going to change and improve me as a fighter?
Everything he told me. So I got to the point where I was as far as I was concerned, the ideal student. I was like his walking, talking robot.
Listening.
Everything he said, is my second language. So I thought, and as I said, when I go back to the corner and he just said, marvellous, well done, I thought, I made him proud. It was just, it was the greatest feeling to say, I'm a product of the gym.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't about me, it was about proving what he did was right when he used to get a lot of stick from everybody. But the one thing that stood out was, this is the best feeling ever. And that was the only fight I'd ever felt like that. Out of all the defences I've done, out of all the titles I've won.
Because there was 13 defences?
13 defences, set a record of defences.
Didn't lose the belts?
Didn't lose it in the ring.
Had to give them up?
Yeah, gave them up through, should have boxed McAnally after that. I got snapped my patella tendon. So I was out, I was done. Which was probably what I was looking forward to the most, because McAnally was now a big deal on ITV. And the last time ITV audience saw me, I boxed Carlos de Leon in 1990, stunk the place out at Sheffield City Hall.
Okay, yeah.
And so the general public thought, who's that boring Nelson? So I'd changed now from a boy into a man.
Yeah.
So I then understood that if I want the general public to see this guy and think, oh my God, he's still boxing, smash Enzo McAnally, because he was like the big deal on ITV. And that was probably the most disappointing thing. It wasn't not fighting Enzo, but the disappointing thing was not being able to put on a show to show the ITV audience, this is who I am. I stuck it out.
Yeah, but you did it 20 years.
20 years on.
MBE now.
MBA. It just honestly, it was a good time. It's been a good ride, but it's flown by. And it wasn't until John Ingle actually reminded me, it's 20 years. I'm like, really? And he said, yeah, it's 20 years. And so I thought, all right then. So, and he'd mentioned it to me, and we all talk about different stories. I just rang Mark Willey before I record, and I said, what do you remember about it? He said, I remember running. I was like running from someone in Italy, because there was a mob of them pressuring us. Right. I remember giving a stick when we all started dancing inside the arena, and I thought, I remember that, laughing at them. And it was just, there was so many people there, but it was like a sea of darkness, all these black heads bobbing up and down in the corner, and it just made me smile. Great
Amazing.
time.
What a time. What a time. So from 20 years to this weekend, let's talk about this weekend.
Yeah, this weekend. So this weekend we've got Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr. 2.
Rematch.
At Tottenham Hotspur's the rematch.
How do you feel about it?
I flopped. I flip and I flop, and I think who's going to win, who's going to...
Where you at today?
I'm Conor Benn.
Yeah?
I was Chris.
I'm a big Conor Benn fan. I hope he does it. I think it was really tight last time. But they both give everything, didn't they? What more could you give if you're going to be hospital for 4 days after?
I do see it.
I see Conor Benn doing it on points. I'd put a tenner on that, maybe.
Tenner,
but only a tenner. But yeah, I thought I'd bring you this. That was the issue last time, weren't it?
That was the issue.
So
this little battery here was how much Chris Eubank Jr. weighed over the weight.
So that weight cost him half a million.
That weight cost him $500,000, and it bought Conor Benn a brand new white Rolls-Royce Phantom.
Amazing.
With a private reg and everything. And Conor keeps reminding him. So can you imagine, that is what he was over on the scales. And the deal's still the same.
So it's the same again?
The deal's still the same. So if he comes over, even half of that, it's $500,000.
Yeah, I heard him say he'd been eye up a new Ferrari anyway this time.
And he actually said, I'm going to put a reg on with your name on.
Yeah.
Just to wind him up. But the one thing that makes me think twice about this, my decision in thinking Conor's got it, is Conor saying that I'm not going to be as emotionally invested. And all week long he's been saying that, all the run up to this. And when you see him together, he's cool, he's calm, he's got a smile on his face. I hope that's maturity, and he's channeled it to the point where he thinks, right, I've got you, I'm having you.
Yeah.
I think his ferocity, his anger, his emotions created a pace that put Eubank Jr. in hospital for 3 days.
Yeah, he came out and he finished how he started, didn't he, with Conor Benn? He came out with the same energy as he finished with. I know they were both exhausted by the end, but I feel like if he slowed it down 3%, that 3% over the rounds is going to make a huge difference.
It's going to make a massive. And for Junior, if Junior, even when he was shattered, he was short, tall enough for long enough to box him and put Chris,
keep him at distance.
Put Conor off balance and keep him at distance.
Yeah.
Conor needs to pace is the key.
Yeah.
So tomorrow night when we're watching this fight, keep an eye on pace is the key. If Chris is controlling the pace, he's won the fight.
Yeah.
Conor needs to take the pace by putting the pressure on him.
Yeah.
Be ferocious, just constantly. We have that silent step back, a little braver bump. Conor needs to do what he did tenfold.
Yeah.
Because I heard his dad say this week, both dads say this week, Nigel Benn said, we were at the hospital at the same time as Chris, and Conor was in a bed 50 yards down from Chris. He said, I went to see Chris to see he was all right.
Yeah.
Chris is out cold, he was gone. He was there for 52 hours in hospital. It was hit and go.
Yeah.
That's what his own dad says.
Yeah.
That's how much he exhausts himself. Whereas Conor, he said, me and Conor were in the canteen after we had a checkup, we're gone.
Yeah.
So that tells you how much Conor had left and how much Chris didn't have left.
Yeah.
So if the conditions are exactly the same.
How much do you think the hospital length was down to the fight itself, or the build up to the fight, as in like the hydration and how much it had drained him?
Everything about the hydration.
How much it had been beaten up?
Yeah, everything about the hydration. And it's not about the night. You've got to wait for a few years' time and see how that's affected the man's body. The weight's this afternoon. We've got to see how he looks on the scale.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch the fight, he might be great for the first 4 rounds. Then after that,
It's 160 again, isn't it?
it's going to catch up on you.
Yeah.
It's going to catch up on you. So and that's the price you have to pay. And this is Chris Senior's issue here. He said there's rules. And stick to rules. I'm not being odd. I'm not being out of order. You've made rules. Put them in place. So stick to the rules. I actually agree with him.
Yeah.
He's bang right. I actually agree with the pressure he's putting on the British Boxing Board of Control to say, you know what, you know this is wrong.
Yeah.
You should say, nope, we're not having this. I don't care what contract you've got. Yeah. So I actually agree with Chris as issue with the British Boxing Board of Control. And I'm a great supporter of the British Boxing Board of Control. I think right there they've dropped a bollock. Excuse my French. They've dropped the ball a little bit.
Yeah.
So I agree with Chris in everything he's saying. I agree with his concern for his son. I totally agree with it. I don't agree with Chris Jr. when he blames the delay on the promoters on the Boxing Board of Control, because I've been to Tottenham.
Yeah.
It takes forever and a day to get out of that place.
Yeah.
So what the Board of Control or whoever or the
What was this, the blocking of the ambulance?
Yes, the block. He said he couldn't get out. It took him hours to get out, and they were waiting. And Nigel says, "No, that's rubbish because we just got out and our ambulance was behind him."
Yeah.
But he was in a worse state.
Yeah.
So that was the issue, getting out. What they could do is get a helicopter and have a helicopter land, boom, take him away. Done.
Yeah.
For everybody and anybody, even if you've got blue lights there, to get out of Tottenham is a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's a little one-way road.
Yeah.
Walk traffic one way and that's it. There's no overtaking.
Hundreds of thousands of
doesn't matter
people
how
on
many
the
blue
streets.
lights you got playing.
Yeah.
You can't get through traffic that stop to pull up for you.
Yeah.
So I see where Junior's coming from his point of view. He's in the ambulance, but the reality is no man could set that up.
No.
Regardless of what he thinks of Eddie Hearn, of Robert Smith from the Boxing Board of Control, these are still people. These people have got kids. There's no way they're going to put this man in a situation where it threatens his life. Yeah. Because one, it's detrimental to our sport, and two, it'd be detrimental to the promoters, the organisation of the promoters. So I understand where Chris Jr. is coming from. I don't agree with him. I understand what should be done. The boxing board, in union with the promoter, have a helicopter on standby, drop it in, boom, pick them up, take them away. Yeah. If it's that bad,
yeah,
because that's what's going to have to happen.
Yeah.
I think the fight itself, if I'm honest, all week it's not been as covered as much, and I think that's because Sky are involved.
Yeah.
Sky are not involved, so you see it everywhere, and it's just not. Yeah. Tickets are still available.
Yeah.
You know, that last time that wasn't the case.
It wasn't the case.
No, I could be wrong, and I'm quite sure.
Was it on this time? The Zone this time?
It's on the Zone. Sky aren't involved in it, and it's not sour grapes. We aren't involved. It's not a problem. I still love our sport. I still want to watch it, but. Fact is fact. Mm-hmm. This fight hasn't been as well seen and covered because lack of Sky's involved in it.
Yeah.
So is that greed from the Zone and XYZ saying, "Now we're gonna have all that"? It was a big fight last time. We're gonna be the only ones that show this. It's all ours. Is that greed? I don't know, but greed actually gets you less than what you had in the first place.
Yeah.
Because I just personally don't think it's been covered and promoted as well as it did the last time. And that's, in my opinion, I think that's because Sky went involved.
Yeah, so Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this Saturday.
Yeah.
When the bell goes, what are you thinking?
Round 13, I think these boys have got everything on the line. Chris Jr. now is an expectant father of twins. Wow, wait, let's go back up. Oh no, we'll say this in a bit. He's an expectant father of twins. Gives you something to fight for. It's great. I didn't even know he had a woman.
Yeah.
So good for him. Good for him. Benn. Connor now didn't think he knows what he's capable of doing and what he had left. So I believe this is round 13. I think the fight goes the distance. I think if there's a stoppage, it's from the referee stepping in.
Okay.
I don't think Connor has the power to knock Chris out, but depends on how Chris is affected from the weigh-in we see this afternoon. But I do think Connor gets it on points, tight points. Now let me pull you. Now you came out with a proper Yorkshire saying, because I was asking you about being a father of twins and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me. So I said, are you going to watch it?
You said, am I going to watch the twins come out? And I said, apparently it's like watching your favourite pub burn down. So I'll be top ends. I'll be top end.
I'd never heard that before. And she's going to kill you when she hears this. So apparently down at the bottom end, down at where all the work's
where the business end, I'll be up at the top
it's like
end with
watching
a
your
party.
pub burn down.
Around the...
Anyway, that's this week's edition of That Boxing Show with me, Johnny Allison. And you know what, the son-in-law, Anna Nicholson. Join us and enjoy the fight.